Today's adventure brings us to Mt Teneriffe, the preserve out here. And we will be heading over to the summit after we go through the preserve.
So we've come into the sign-in log. Truck's signing us in. And this is a place where there's an endangered species. And it's an orchid, or a small whorled begonia. And there's a write-up on it inside the box.
So we've come to a trail junction. We've got the Spur loop trail. We're going to do that one first. And then we'll do the ledge trail. The Spur loop trail starts down this way. And, turn a little. It's hard to see, but it will come back through this way. And the trail is marked with these signs. As we're going along, the trees are all bare. Leaves are all over the forest floor from the fall. There's mountain ranges out there. I can't really see them through the trees. So we're moving on. We did the Spur loop trail, and it is a loop. It doesn't take that long at all. It's a very easy trail to follow. And now we're going to take the ledge trail, which will lead out this way.
This is just a little bit of the trail. The leaves are slippery. But we're heading down.
It's a little different than the loop trail.
Yeah, the loop trail is very, very quick.
Honey, anything in there?
There's a Dunkin' Donuts in here.
Oh, give me a coffee too?
Yeah, okay.
Come to another trail junction sign. These are kind of tough to read. I don't know if the video's picking them up. But that's Back Mountain Trail. But we're going to stay on the ledge trail for now. And when we come back, we'll hit Back Mountain. So it looks like the trail goes right through this rock wall into this open area out there. I'd almost think that we're maybe leaving the forest, which, by the way, is 170 acres. After walking through the rock wall, you come into an open area where some logging was done at one time. But you eventually come to this cairn, and in this area, there are paths that go off. I don't know if they go out to scenery or not, so we'll go out and check them out. I'm thinking, we haven't seen a sign since we passed the wall either. So I'm thinking the cairn could be the end of this trail. Okay, so after crossing through the rock wall and going by the cairn, came out to where, I don't know if this is supposed to be views, they're not that great. But I'm gonna say the cairn is probably the end of the ledge trail. This is apparently the other side of Back Mountain Trail. So we're going to follow that now. Pretty much cover the whole preserve while we're out here. And so far in the Back Mountain Trail, it's pretty easy. It doesn't seem like a mountain at all unless we're going over the summit. And in case you're wondering, there's absolutely no snow out here. So the preserve was established to protect that orchid that we showed you down there at the kiosk because it's one of the rarest orchids in the eastern U.S. And one of the reasons this place was probably chosen was because out of the whole worldwide, this is one of the 5 most significant areas where it is. Now, we can't actually show you the orchid because we don't know where they're keeping them. But the plant itself, the buds emerge from a leaf litter, it says, in May, and they bloom in June. You can look it up on the internet if you want to see what the orchid looks like.
So we're a bit too early to see it anyways.
So what you're looking at is something we've heard about before, but have never actually seen. This is our first one. It's a boundary wall that's almost looks like a road. And it said that the farmers, when they were clearing out their land, all the rocks they got to make the boundary walls with, when they ran out of uses for them, they just made them extremely wide like this. So
you could almost drive up this.
Yeah, if we still had the Jeep, this would be fun. We've been walking through in there, where all the trees are bare. And now, we're in this semi-open area. The trail actually goes through this brush. So we must be getting close to the top of Back Mountain, I'm gonna guess. Because there was no maps in the kiosk, so we are tracking it on the GPS. So I guess we'll actually have a map. All right, we're moving on.
So we came down there. We're going down Back Mountain now. And we're heading this way. The terrain has changed a little bit. No more beech nut leaves. And we're on a narrow path.
And Back Mountain Trail has dropped us back off on Ledge Trail. Now it's just a simple matter of retracing our steps back to the vehicle.
To give you an idea of why they call this ledge trail, is you're walking just below a bunch of ledge. A lot of it's moss covered, so it's hard to see, but it's very rocky and ledgy. So from the top of the ledge, there's a nice view of the lake. Clear, no trees in front of it. Well, we were going to be out here and we were researching the preserve. We saw that there was a geocache. We found it. So now we're going to do what we do and put it back where it goes.
So what makes a tree to grow, to be big and strong? Obviously metal trail signs. All right, for part 2 of our adventure while we're out here, we're going to go to the summit of Mt Teneriffe for the fire tower list. It will be number 49 for us. The way that we found directions, you drive further up this hill and off to the left-hand side is a driveway. You park outside of the driveway and walk down past the red barn and then look for a herd path that will take you up. Or, directly across the street from the preserve, Cheryl noticed blazes. So we're going to follow this and see if this will take us to the summit of Mt Teneriffe instead of going up through the private property. This trail seems to be skirting along the cone. We are getting closer to the summit though, so maybe it's a new trail to get to the top.
You got to keep your eyes high when you're following this trail, and some of the blazes are quite faded, but other ones are bright yellow.
Yeah.
So just keep your eyes high.
And watch for trail maintenance too, because they have taken trees down and cut stumps. It's always a sign that you're still on the trail. And like we said, some of the blazes look brand new. I don't know if you can see up here or not. I'm taking that's the summit right up there. We're like 0.13 from it, so could probably just bushwhack straight, but we are trying to follow the trail. Okay, so you can see we're almost to the clearing, which has got to be the summit. So there's no more blazes here. Right there is a cairn.
Welcome to the summit of Mt Teneriffe. Here's the benchmark. It's a little bit rusty, but we made it.
Got some good views from up here too. Okay, so you're seeing what we're seeing up here. It's a very nice summit. This would be number 49 for us on the New Hampshire fire tower list of the 92 fire towers that are standing, once stood, or were proposed. This fire tower was put in 1911, and I think it was used until 1914. There's really not much info on it because this fire tower was only temporary, and they figure it was probably because a landowner who lived at the base was willing to serve as a watchman. The mountain itself got its name in honor of a volcano on the Canary Islands. I don't know what the reference is there, but that's how it got its name. And coming up on the trail, the only thing that we noticed that was somewhat difficult was the angle that you have to keep your feet at. I imagine if people start using this a lot more, then it will flatten out and the switchbacks will be a lot easier on the ankles. There are 2 trails besides the one we came up. You're looking at one right there. The other one is just down the hill a little bit. We're thinking of possibly going out the way that we got the directions to come in, going onto the private property. It's coming down the herd path. You get to see what you couldn't see from the summit because the trees had obscured it. So the views are fantastic out here. I don't know how much you can actually see. I'm trying to find a... It should be right out here. Okay, and you can see off in the distance some of the mountains with the snowpacks on it. I would love to be one of those people that can tell you this mountain is this mountain's that, this mountain's that, but I can't. So we just come out here and we enjoy the views. When we see a bunch of antennas, we're pretty sure that's Washington. Unless, of course, we're close to Manchester, then it's South Uncanunic. Okay, there's the Mt Teneriffe Preserve sign, which means we are back down from Mt Teneriffe. The summit, that is. We have number 49 in the bag for the fire tower list.
This path was blazed on both sides, so we could have gone up and gone down the same path, but we did choose to come down the property owner's land and come down his driveway. It was a good hike, so from Teneriffe Mountain, the end.
Nice.